Hello RC fans, Racing 393 here for a bit of a special video, to be honest. Not organised by myself, I'd like to sort of add that point in, but I'm rather excited to announce that I'm going to be entering a competition regarding a speed run with the said Tamiya chassis. You can see there in the pictures the MF-01X, relatively inexpensive. I do have one. The other picture that's just to the right of what you're looking at is when I last did a speed run myself, but I didn't want to damage the body, so I didn't max out. And it's pretty much been set on the shelf since. I've done a few upgrades with it. I'll put a link in the description of where you can find that video. And I'll also put a link in the description of who has organised this event. Phil at Poor Boys RC does these every year, apparently. I've never heard of it, if I'm honest. It's worldwide, so anybody can enter. There's 3 different classes, basically using this MF-01X chassis. Now, I'll put a link in the description, and you can go along there and see Phil's channel, and I might even link the video, because all the answers, all the questions that you'll have will be answered there. Saves me going into it. So, what's next? Well, just out of shot, just up there, oh, and there, I've got that Escort. I hopped it up to a certain level. I like this Escort. It's I was going to buy another one. I was stupid enough to think get another one. It's not until you start adding it all up from scratch. It's a lot of money. I'm not saying you have to spend that sort of money, but what I want to do, I can just convert the car I've got. So I think because it's already been on the channel, I think we'll hop over to the shed and just go over some really basic things that I've done. I just sort of rekindle your interest and just go over what I've already done. And then hopefully by that time, by the time I get down to the shed, I am due a small delivery which relates to this kit, so I can show you that as well. And I'll go over in a little bit more detail about what I'm going to do. And then hopefully, well, not hopefully, what I plan to do then is do some various running videos of me getting up to speed with this, and then eventually not only you will see the final outcome, but you'll see the video or the speed that I think is about all I can do, which is the film that I will send off to Phil at Poor Boys RC to enter the competition. So yeah, it'd be quite interesting. I'm excited about this. It just gets the community together, and you don't need an excuse to spend money on your hobby. However, it kind of makes sense to spend money on your hobby when you've got something like this potentially to go for. I don't expect to win. There are prizes. Like I say, there'll be a link in the description of the channel of Poor Boys RC, and I'll try and link that particular video. Right, so I think, looking at my watch, without further ado, let's take everything down to the shed and we'll go from there.
And here we are in the shed. This is the chassis. If you've seen it on the video before channel, you'd have seen this video. It's a done one run. Don't think I've taken it out any more than that, but this is the original body shell and in the kit, it's pretty dusty actually, but it came pre-painted. It's got a few scuff marks on it where it did go over. I have actually, on this one, put lights on the back and the front. Yeah, but I won't be using this body shell just for that reason. But I've got something else to show you. So this, effectively, these videos won't be like a build video of this. There's absolutely no point, because you've seen, I did a build video, I think, of this before. I did a build video of this before. So when I built this, there's a few upgrades on it which I did. Shocks is one. I put slicks on it because I want to run it, not off-road as such, and get the body shell lower. In this one, I've got a vintage brushed motor. That will change. All the electrics will change, apart from maybe the servo. The battery in it is a nickel metal hydride battery, so that won't be used. I'm going to use a 3S as per rules, and I've got some other hop-ups which I will put on, and I'll sort of perhaps tell you about them once I've got them. I can't quite remember what I put in. It's got a ball diff in it. It's got these fluoride or racing shocks. It's a standard Hobbywing ESC, that's coming off on the motor. And the wheels, not using these wheels either, so we're going to use touring car wheels, so they're slightly bigger. I can't remember if I put anything in the gearbox. There's going to be an engine plate going in, which we might have to modify to take bigger pinions. Don't know yet. There'll be other videos of running videos of me getting up to a speed which I think is suitable. Don't know what to expect really. What sort of speeds I mean, I haven't got this very quick anyway. I don't know what it's on the video, 34 miles an hour or something like that. But I didn't want to wreck the shell. So, moving on, we've got this. I keep buying Easy Run Max 10s. Got hundreds of them. No, I haven't. You've got, both Grasshoppers have got these in. So I had this from Model Sport. They kindly put the Dean's connector on, because that's generally, I don't have to use them, but I tend to have batteries which have them on, so it just makes it easier for me. I might rewire the length of the wires, it all depends. And this is a 80 amp ESC. The motor, which eludes me at the moment, so that's what I've got. 5400 kV and 3652 brushless motor. So that's what's going in with that ESC. So I'm not going to film the installation of that. I don't think there's much point. And I've also got a new unpainted, you see that? Just about. I've gone for the Escort again, just because I'm a bit of a sucker, really. I haven't bought a shell for years, but as in a saloon. It's all in there. Let me try and just open it a little bit. So Lexan body shell. Not sure what colour to do it yet. I might not do it white, because I've got a white one. But I'm not putting all the features on it. As in, well, I think there's only one thing. Door mirrors. All these things that come with it won't be used, so I'm not using that. Won't be using that. Or that. These are like the light fittings. There's obviously the decal instructions, and there's the decals. or what I've actually pretty much got. I might use some of these obviously, but I'm not going to use the blue. And I might use the blue. It just depends on what colour I want to do the body shell. Something that stands out. Might do a very sort of candy colour or something that will go with the blue, like a blue candy colour. I don't know. I quite like the blue that I did on my LMP, if I'm honest. That would look alright as a two-tone blue colour. I'll just quickly show you that if you've not seen that. Ooh, you dropped it. So that was my two-tone I'm talking about. That was my just blue. Might get that blue again. That would look quite nice on the shell with the blue stickers. Just a contrast. I don't know. I think it'd look alright. Yeah, it's not so much about the colour, is it? That's not going to make it go faster, but it will look better. So yeah, it'd be quite good. You know, maybe you should think about subscribing to see this project. I'll break this because in this video we're going to start upgrading. So this video will be all about the upgrades, but perhaps not showing you the upgrades because, well, you've seen it all before, haven't you? So there's no point me dismantling it and filming it unless you want to see that. Don't know, maybe I'll do like a video short to see what you think, to see how deep I go into this. Competition runs, you'll get this all off Poor Boys RC anyway, but it runs from the 15th of August this year, 24, finishes on September 30th, so you've got quite a long time to get one of these up and running. 3S, maximum 65mm tyre size. I won't be going that high, and you are allowed gyros. I don't think I've got a gyro, I'm not sure. I might have to use the electronics. Is not as important in this because it's not going around a track, it is literally going in a straight line. Although maybe a gyro would help, but I don't know whether what I've got in there has a gyro. I can't remember which hand controller it is. Let's try and look now. I believe they're not very good. I think it's this. So again, because I'm only going in a straight line, it doesn't really matter. It's not expensive, but when you start adding it all up, it is expensive. That's a contradiction. Right, so I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna probably do like a YouTube short. I want to see, that'll be out before this video, to see what people think. Not very good at doing shorts. It's on the phone as well, isn't it? So yeah, alright, I'll do that and I'll be back whichever, but this video will be all the build for this kit in various stages, and then we'll start the runs, like the test runs and the preliminary runs to get it all set up, and then the actual run that you do has to be done with no editing at all. Just any bits in between, like you can speed up, but you can't have any cuts. I guess to stop people cheating, I guess, but there'll be many of videos you'll see before that of edited versions of me doing test runs. Don't know how many I'll do, but we'll see. Yeah. Right. I'll do the next bit. So here's part 2. As you can see, body shell, at least the pins are done. What's that? Is that like no fur floating around? So I'm going to cut the wheel arches, trim it up, and then we'll get this painted. It's all on. I don't think I've got to do much else. Set up, like make sure the wheels are pointing in the right way. But apart from that, at least it all works. Sits nice and square as expected. Yeah, I still run an aerial receiver, hence this little bit sticking up. Yeah, I'm gonna just trim the wheel arches and trim the body shell, give it a clean, and then I suppose we can get some paint on it. There you go. Fits really well. Might have to trim them a little bit though for the tyres, but the backs, they look good. Sits nice and low. Might be a little bit too low at the back. You can't see that, but here, I mean I have got the rear slightly cambered. It still goes down more. It's the front which is going to be the tricky one, because it does. I might have to trim a little bit these wheel arches, but I'm not going to worry at the moment. I'll get it painted, so let's get it washed, dried. I'll get some of this, wherever it's gone now, some blue. Where is it gone actually? Where's my paint? Anyway, that's up to me to find it. It's yep, get some colour. There you go. What do you think? It's got some deep stickers on it, and one thing and another. If you're in the UK, you might recognise this colour scheme. It's not a rally car, and more specifically, UK oval stock car hot rod and banger racing. Now this is a hot rod, but not the American hot rod. It is based on someone's car. I've got stickers to put on it yet. What do you think? Nice and low. I'm going to have to do something with these wheels, I think, on the front, but let me put stickers on, and I'll be back to show you, and then it'll be ready, getting ready for a speed run, or a preliminary speed run. If you know, you'll know. It's a homage to quite a well-known UK oval race driver on the English ovals back in the day. Yeah, so it's not a replica. I'm not that good, but it kind of emulates the driver. If you know, you know. Got a few bits still to do. Tyres. I've got to try and see if I can do something with the tyres. Backs might be alright. It's the fronts. There's not a lot of turn ability because they'll hit the arches. I don't really want to cut it or raise them. Yeah, I'll have to put the thinking cap on. A couple of pinions here, which be part of the sort of the trial process. Yeah, I think I'm only going to use a 2S. Haven't got a 3S yet, but we'll see what we can get out of it on a 2S before we, enter the competition. It's got to be set up yet. Tracking. Got a tracking gauge here which I'll use. Tyres. I'm not sure whether these will fit my tyre truer. Don't know. I'll have to see. I'll have to look into that. But I think we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. Things got to be charged. So what I'll do is I'll do that off camera now, and I'll see you when we try it out for its first preliminary run, if you like. See how it goes. It's going to charge things up. 36.5 degrees. We'll get this out running. Do a test. I'll be back in a bit. The obligatory, what am I eating? Well, 36 degrees. We need a lolly. What's the? It's 49% humidity. Well, anyway, just a waiting game. Right, it's finished. Let's unplug it. It's so tight. I'll have to show this again, but that's what I'm using. I'm going to put this in the car now, but I'll probably have to show you again anyway. So to authenticate it, remembering not to cut anything out. If you're wondering where the footage went, that wasn't taken. Yeah, this came loose, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Because I didn't film it. 39 miles an hour, but I've got a feeling the pinions come loose or moved. The front tyres are rubbing on the inside, so I'm going to have to perhaps raise it a little bit more. So it's rubbing on there, just on the inner wheel arches, so when it's going along it pulls to one side, but I need to investigate the gear first. It might just be whether hopefully the pinion's just moved or loose or something, but yeah, I forgot my bloody SD card, so it was nothing official anyway. It was just like a shakedown, and it kind of got a few things. See, it could go a lot quicker if I can keep it in a straight line. I think these either got to be turned down more, or I've got to change the ride height. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'll stick this back down. And yeah, anyway, bit of a letdown because you ain't seen it. Never mind, it doesn't matter. It was only like a preliminary run. You kind of know what I'm running. I'm going to clean this up, storage charge the battery, work out, hopefully it'll be something really simple, like the pinion, and then I'll sort out the front so it stops it pulling. I'll do a proper run that you can see, but unofficially 39 miles an hour. Okay, I'll see you soon for a more enjoyable part. As a footnote, it was the stripped gears inside the gearbox. Maybe it wasn't meshed properly. But yeah, so was it a TL01? I thought I'd get another speed gear for it. Shouldn't be too difficult, they are on the internet, so just find a company that has got them for a reasonable price and I'll put them in. So that was the problem. The pinion's fine on the motor. So it's probably, maybe it wasn't meshed properly. The motor 3652, I think. No, sorry, my mistake. 5,400 kV. If you're interested. But anyway, get it repaired, get it back out.